It's an exciting story. An experimental drug is showing the potential to treat symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. A study involving 1,800 patients in the early stages of Alzheimer's showed that the drug lecanemab slowed the progression of the disease by approximately 5 months over an 18-month span. So with us this morning is Dr. Donald Weaver, director of the Krembil Research Institute at the University Health Network. Dr. Weaver was not part of this study, but he is here to give us his thoughts. Welcome to your morning.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
The study was done on a relatively small scale. Lecanemab has still not been approved commercially, but explain to us how promising are these results, and are you excited by them?
This is very promising, and yes, this is exciting. Over the course of the last 30 years, there's been nothing that really influences the natural history of Alzheimer's as a disease. This is the first agent which has really been shown to slow the progression of the disease. It's not a cure, but it certainly is a right step in the right direction.
So the drug works, if I understand this correctly, by targeting something called an amyloid. What does that mean?
So amyloid is a small protein which is found in the brain of people who have Alzheimer's disease, and it tends to become sticky and clump up. And when it does, it tends to destroy the brain. And so this is a drug that targets amyloid, tries to prevent it from harming the brain.
Though, as you mentioned, this is not a cure.
No.
The drug could potentially give patients more time before the disease starts to significantly impact their lives and those of the people who love them. How important is it that it's happening at this stage?
Very important. I mean, the individuals who have Alzheimer's disease, who are living with it, and their families, having more months, having more time, time's important. And this has the potential to give them that much-needed time.
Oh, time is important. That is so true. It has been the case with other amyloid-targeting drugs. Lecanemab did not produce noticeable side effects. This is also very important. 13% of participants who received the drug experienced brain swelling.
Yep.
Tell us your concerns around that.
Any side effect is of concern, and there were two types of side effects seen, brain swelling and some brain bleeding. As you pointed out, though, this was a small trial. Larger numbers are going to be needed to see just how relevant and important this is, but in the long run, it's going to be a cost versus benefit consideration.
Wow. U.S. Food and Drug Administration considering approving this drug under the Fast Track program. We've seen them do this before. As early as January is when we might see approvals. This is weeks away. You need a separate approval process for here in Health Canada, of course, but what needs to happen here before the drug is accessible?
Well, the companies who are marketing would have to introduce it to our own regulatory bodies and would require approval here, which is a completely different process than happens in the United States. But, I mean, if it's approved first in the United States, well, that'll give ample opportunity to see how it is working there before it gets approved here.
People want to ask, when can I get this? How early can we have this? What makes them a good candidate?
The individuals who have what we call mild cognitive impairment, MCI, the state that leads into Alzheimer's disease, and people in the early stages of the disease. Once it's well advanced, this agent probably is not going to make much difference. You know,
and that's a really important point, because a lot of time with people start to see symptoms, especially with Alzheimer's, they get afraid and they don't go to their doctor.
Yes.
But this gives a reason to go early.
Yes, that's right. I mean, if you think you're having problems with memory or problems with cognition, by all means, consult your healthcare provider. The earlier you get into this process, the better.
Yeah, and sometimes people think this is for people maybe, post-60, but you can start to see early signs as early as your 40s, correct?
As a post-60 person, yes, but it is a misconception to think that Alzheimer's disease only affects people in their more advanced years. It certainly can occur at earlier times as well.
So great to have you on. It was an exciting headline to read and great to delve more into it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.